Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser. There is more severe weather that is expected today. And let's go ahead and give you a breakdown of the SPC outlook. We're going to focus on South Dakota, North Dakota right now, and then we'll kind of talk about areas of Springfield, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, that area. We do have some concerns as well for that area, but that we'll get to here shortly. But the main thing right out of the gate here, after I've been looking at the weather models this morning, it looks like the Mobridge area is a very big concern for me. That would be an area that I would love to chase today. Kind of Mobridge. Well, let me give you a better idea. This would be where I would target. Okay, right out of the gate, I'm telling you exactly where I would target. Mobridge area, somewhere close to that northern portion of South Dakota and southern part of North Dakota border. I pinpointed Java based on the latest information for soundings. Take a look at that. It does suggest some pretty significant numbers here. Supercell 27 STP is fairly low. The fixed STP is 3.9, and the surface-based CAPE is going to be over 5,000. So that's going to be pretty significant for some storms to build. Now, the only thing that we have to look at is, well, what does the satellite look like? Let's take a look at that real quick. Satellite imagery right now showing that we don't have a whole lot of cloud cover in those areas. Some right here, but not real. That's moving on out. And I do believe that we're going to end up having this build into this area. Let's go back to those severe weather risks and show you where the tornado risk is. So the tornado risk today, that is right in that smack dab in that area, Mobridge, north of Gettysburg, Eureka. And then if we pinpoint it for North Dakota, let me get back to that a little bit here, 1 second. North Dakota, it's pretty much Devil's Lake, Jamestown, Grand Forks, Fargo. All of you are in a 2 to 4% risk for today. I don't believe we're going to be going live in the studio today, but if we do, we'll certainly let you know if storms should break out. Appreciate you all being here. Let's go ahead and kind of break down some other risks that we do have expected for today. We do have the severe wind risk as well. So if things can get linear, we're going to have that wind threat for later today. And there's that risk overall. It is a 2 out of 5 for areas of the South Dakota and North Dakota area. What about tomorrow? Well, shoot, tomorrow we got a risk for marginal. I do suspect that they're going to upgrade this to a slight risk. The elements are still going to be there, and we'll show you that here in a minute. But they still look to be there. Day 2, so tomorrow, the risks kind of shift a little bit southeastward. We're going to have Aberdeen, Redfield, Huron, Mitchell. Just to the north of Sioux Falls, we'll have that tornado risk. Brookings, Watertown, Sisseton, you're all in that. And then pretty much the wooded areas and southwest portions of Minnesota are going to be in that. There's that risk, overall marginal risk, and then over into areas of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, all of these areas are going to be in that marginal risk. But again, the big thing is right here, I think, is going to be a big risk for tomorrow in areas of Minnesota. If I was to chase, I'll kind of show you where I suspect that things are going to be. I'll give you that information tomorrow, but there's going to be plenty of instability in the atmosphere to be able to get those things pumping up and fueling. So if you're in the Minnesota area, you definitely want to make sure that you stay weather aware. Let's go ahead and break things down for you with regards to the timing of all this. You guys want to know the timing? Well, you can tell me all you want about the numbers, but before we do that, I want to explain what we also have to worry about today, and that is again, unfortunately, the flooding. Now, there's a lot of moisture with these systems. And I'll show you a satellite or a live radar here. You got plenty of flash flooding going on. And this whole area right here in the yellow, that is that slight risk for excessive rainfall. We're talking 3 to 6 inches locally, local high amounts like that, and 1 to 3 inches in many different areas in a very short amount of time. And overall, we do also have some other risks for excessive rainfall. That is down into New Orleans, Houston area, as we see some special weather statements down there. Not a whole lot going on, not expecting any severe weather over there. But we do also have over in Pittsburgh that excessive rainfall outlook for today, 15%. And what's happening right now over in Pittsburgh? Yep, plenty of rain, kind of slow movers, really not moving that fast. Let me kind of put on this cell. It's moving about 26 miles per hour. Yeah, between 15 to 25 miles per hour, these storm cells are moving off to the east, going to eventually move towards the southeast and hit Chambers, Hagerstown, some of those areas. Let's go ahead and take a look. Well, what do we got to worry about for excessive rainfall for day 2, tomorrow, Sunday? That moves up into areas of Minnesota, the North Country, up by Duluth. You're going to end up having excessive rainfall up in Grand Rapids area, Ely, Silver Bay, Grand Marais, International Falls. You're going to be dealing with all that excessive rainfall, some flash flooding, and then we'll continue to see some of that flash flooding over in Columbus, Philadelphia, Washington, New York, and unfortunately over in New Mexico areas, some of the monsoon fun. So we going to catch a break? Are we going to catch a break? No, we're not going to catch a break. I do suspect that this area here, instead of it being a marginal, I suspect for day 3, this is going to be looking into Sunday into Monday. We're going to probably be looking at another big time rain event in areas of Sioux Falls where we could see localized 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. This is my estimate that they're going to put this as a 15%, not a marginal. It's probably going to be a slight risk in this swath somewhere in here. Otherwise, pretty well dry for some of the other areas. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the overall timing of these storms for today. We're going to focus on areas of South Dakota, and that is because South Dakota and North Dakota, because that's where the main threat is for today. So let's go ahead and show you the HRRR. Actually, let's go this other route. We got to show you through the RRFS, the rapid refresh. So RRFS is a weather model that is a prototype, and it's not for decision making. However, it seems lately that it has been fairly spot on picking these. So I'm just going to show you the significant tornado parameters and why I pinpointed like that Mobridge area for later this evening. Take a look here. All right, this is a look at 7 p.m. I don't have any soundings on the RRFS. They call it Rufus for short. But these numbers for significant tornado parameters are enough, and this is going to be sometime after 5 p.m. I suspect that these storms will develop and mature up in the north central part of South Dakota. Now, I don't suspect that this is going to be able to move into North Dakota. I really don't. It's going to be very difficult, going to become more of a rain event into North Dakota. The farther north that it goes, it's going to be just we got to get it early, basically, type of thing. And the earlier, the better. That's what's expected right in that area, right here. That's where we would suspect the tornadic activity. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other areas. We got concerns for some significant tornado parameters with the Rufus here in areas of Illinois. Do we? Do we really? Let's check. Nope. Not really a whole lot of concerns for significant tornadoes or tornadoes in general, I should say. However, that flooding, again, that does look like it's going to be pretty darn crazy. We're going to look through this as a time-lapse loop between 6 o'clock this morning all the way over to 9 o'clock tonight. So let's take a look here, Missouri area. Look at that right here. We do have um, a lot of rain. That's why they got that excessive rainfall outlook here for areas of Illinois. You're going to have to be worrying about that around 5 o'clock. May even be a little bit sooner. So that's a look at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then it kind of dies out by 9 p.m. So that is what you got to worry about for those areas. Let's go ahead and take a look at those soundings again. This is my concern if you're just joining us. My concern here is for a possible marginal tornado to happen. Again, the models can be all over the place, and this if I would go today, I'm not going. I'm probably not going to go chasing today, but just because the funds are gone. But this would be the area that I would target. If you're just joining us, this would be the area that I would target. This would be McLaughlin, Mobridge, kind of over by Pollock, South Dakota. That north central portion of South Dakota would be my area of target. It's going to be interesting to find out where the rest of the chasers are today. And I would suspect that they're going to be somewhere in this zone for a target zone. We'll have to see how that plays out. But again, this is the sounding. This is a look at time frame here. 1 second. That's sometime after 5 p.m. Again, here's where it looks a little interesting. This is a look at 8 p.m. So let me back this up a little bit. So look at 4 p.m. 1 second. Goodness gracious. Back this up here a little bit. I'm going to get to that point. Here we go. This is based on HRRR. So at 23Z, which would end up being 6 p.m. Again, marginal tornado in that area possible. Again, this is just a weather model, so just be aware of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at Minnesota again for tomorrow. We do have that risk for Minnesota, Fergus Falls, Alexandria, Minnesota, Montevideo, Marshall, even eastern portions of South Dakota. So that's why I do suspect that today is going to be over in Mobridge area, Eureka. This is going to happen early on in the evening. And yeah, that's the latest information that we have from the 605 Chaser Studios. Let's just kind of do a rundown with HRRR on here on Radar Omega and show you the storm evolution as it may end up showing up here. Go to the 7 a.m. update here. 1 second. All right. So according to this, HRRR has storms starting in the southern portion, like south of Pierre. But there's that singular cell. This is probably why it's picking up on that, is because this cell right here, all by itself. And that's where that wind shear could be. Let's take a look. Come on, load. There we go. So if we analyze these numbers, we've got 42 knots, plenty of shear to be able to develop that. So again, my area of concern would be, let me go back to 6 p.m. so we can kind of match this up here. Let me back this up here a little bit. I want to look at 6 p.m. Is the shear going to show up? Could be later. Could be the shear doesn't show up until about 8 p.m. So it could end up being a little bit later. But anyhow, after 5 p.m., again, the area that I would target, my bullseye for today would be somewhere in this vicinity that I would target. That would be my initial target. Not saying I'm chasing today, but that would be my initial target. I think these numbers are lying a little bit because I really think this sell right here is going to get pretty explosive later this afternoon, or I should say early evening rather. And then that kind of moves on over to North Dakota area. Becomes more of a windbag event as it gets into the late evening hours, but I think it's going to be early on that we'll have that risk. And then look at that over in Grand Forks area. All this is going to be that wind, significant wind threat there, and then move on over into Bemidji, Grand Rapids, into the overnight early hours of tomorrow. And look at Duluth there, straggler, 4 p.m. tomorrow. That is certainly going to be pretty extensive there as well. And if we look further, let's go ahead and take a look at that risk for tornadoes for tomorrow. You can see why they have that tornado risk over there. This is the tornado risk for tomorrow. Tufts Weather, thank you so much for joining. You think today's risk is going to become a 5%? I don't think today's going to be a 5%. I think today's going to remain 2. However, it seems like they have been putting on 5% like they're candy. And yesterday's 5%, after I looked at the numbers, I was like, really? You're doing 5%? But either way. So this is a look at tomorrow. Storm evolution here. Yeah, I think they're going to shave this off a little bit. I don't think they're going to need to have this part of South Dakota. If I was to bet tomorrow, I bet you all of this is going to be gone, and it's going to end up somewhere in here, somewhere in this vicinity. They'll probably end up having a 5. Okay. Yeah, late tonight after 6, right, buddy? We'll see what happens. Only the Lord knows. It's crazy how this weather is shaping up. None of the models ever seem to be accurate lately. Now let's go back to those weather models here and show you that here. This is the Rufus that I trust. So again, Rufus right here showing sometime around 7 p.m. There's a look at 8 p.m. right here. I don't have soundings available on there, and if you're just joining, I want to show you the soundings. So we'll go back over to this area here. Yeah, models have been crazy. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. Again, the area that I would target would be right in here somewhere for uh, early evening, sometime after 5. Okay, well, I'm going to let y'all go. Oh, okay. NAM3K kind of agrees with STP like her. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. There is one other model that the NSSL weather model. I haven't had a whole lot of practice. Brandon Kopic certainly appreciates that one for some reason, but he's obviously the goat of storm chasing, one of them. And so we could take a look at that and see if that shows that as well. Kind of says the same area. See you, Tufts Weather. You guys have a great day. I'm going to let you go. I will be back tomorrow. Sorry for the late broadcast today, but uh, I've been getting really tired lately. Got to get my energy. So you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless. Stay safe.